This is where Boston talks sports. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Thanks for choosing Felger and Mazz to entertain.
Let's cut off their extremities.
And inform you in the afternoon.
I'm locked in, baby.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
You know, there is a sentiment in the NFL, it's kind of this dirty secret that nobody talks about, that there are organizations who just want to get in the tournament. They're not trying to win championships. They're trying to fill their seats. They're trying to make money. They're trying to put a good enough product out there that it's competitive, that maybe they get into the tournament, okay? If you look at the New England Patriots after their championship run, that's how they've drafted. That's how they've handled free agency. Not to go attack a championship and say, we have Tom Brady, we need to take some chances to go win one more.
Did you hear that, Mazz?
I did.
Did you hear that one?
Of course.
Holy smokes. ESPN is impressing me more and more by the day. Trent Dilfer last night on the broadcast, ESPN. Holy smokes. Now, I'm not saying Trent Dilfer's going to be able to keep that up. I believe his phone rang in the commercial break just like Bill Polian's did. And the next time we hear from Trent Dilfer, it's going to be a different tune. But for a night anyway? Wow. Do you hear that blast?
Well, what part of it wasn't true?
Well, it's something that, jamokes like you and I, Maz, have been talking about for years with the way that the ownership treats the team and their team building process and that whole conversation. We've been having that conversation for a couple of years now, longer. I feel like I've been at it ever since I didn't re-sign Deion Branch. For me, it started in 2005, 2006 it started. But when you get heavyweights, Steve Young, Trent Dilfer on the national broadcast, by name, calling out the Crafts and the Patriots and how they spend money and how they build their team, that is not something you hear every day. And that, to me, absolutely stood out. And we haven't even gotten to the game yet, which we're going to do right now. We'll just bitch about it all day long. 617-779-0985 is the AT&T fan line. What are your leadoff thoughts today, Mazz?
You want to talk about the game first or the bigger picture?
I want everything you want.
Okay.
I want everything that you've got.
Okay. Well,
starting with your best material.
All right, I'll tell you what. Here's where I start because to me it sort of all stems from the game. So let's start there. And that is, I can live with losses. I can. Many people can. I can live with losses. So it's never the what. It's the how. It is the how. How you got there, how you played, why you're in the predicament you're in, how it all happened. That's what it's about to me. And for this team, with this quarterback, at this stage of his career, to be in the situation they are now, and to go into a place like Kansas City on national TV as the only show in town and get its ass kicked up and down the field over and over again, looking ill-prepared, undermanned, all of it. Looking all of that, to me, is completely, totally inexcusable. And it's a reflection on the way they are run. I can't come out of it with anything but that. So we want to talk about Brady's deterioration? Sure. You want to talk about the fact that on the right side of the defense between Chandler Jones and Jamie Collins, that they got run over all night long? Sure. We can do that too. But to me, the bigger question is how it came to this with that guy at quarterback.
How did it come to this with that guy at quarterback?
I just think that this is a classic case of cutting too many corners too frequently. And eventually, you're going to end up in a situation like the one you're in, which is without a line really on either side of the ball. That blows my mind, how that could happen. That is the most basic building block of any football team is on the line. You've got to be good on the line. If you're not, it's over. Both sides.
On top of it all, Maz, the deficiencies in the lineup and on the lines and on the roster and their team building, which we'll spend a lot of time on today. But just specifically to this team at this moment, don't you feel there's something wrong?
Yes, I do. Yes.
There's something wrong, and I don't mean that they don't have a left guard or that they're soft against the run on the left edge or that I don't like Josh McDaniels' game plan. All those things are wrong, but I mean it feels like there's something wrong on the team between the players and themselves or the players and the coach. The quarterback feels like he's prominent in this, and I think this ties into all the commentary we got last night on ESPN from the quarterback union. I don't think those comments from Dilfer and Young were off the top of their head or out of their ass. I think they came from somewhere, and I feel they came from Brady.
Or Brady's camp.
Or Brady's people. I don't think those comments came in a vacuum. So I think there's something wrong. And I don't want to get into a big body language reading exercise. Just gauge it on what you see between the whistles.
Well, when Brady threw that second pick, Mike, that ball, he quit. He had quit on that play. He quit on that throw.
The team is not playing together. It's not playing hard. It's not playing with its usual intelligence or toughness. There's something wrong with that team. Do you agree or disagree, Beetle?
Yeah, I agree. I agree because I don't think they're a very good team, okay? But they're not as bad as what they looked like last night.
Yeah, they shouldn't be this bad.
They should not be this bad. I don't think they're going to be a great team. I don't think they're going to be competing for a Super Bowl at the end of this road this season, but they're not this bad. They can't be this bad. There's just no way.
There's something wrong.
There's a disconnect there somewhere because they should not look like they looked last night.
Look, I think I have a pretty good idea as to where it is or how it started or maybe the piece that broke the straw that broke the camel's back or what have you. I think when they traded Mankins, they lost Brady. That's what I think. Now, I don't know. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe it'll be week 5 where he snaps out of it. I have no idea. But Brady lost his faith in them when they let Mankins go. Whether that's Belichick, whether that's Kraft, or whoever. Brady looked at it and said, "You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be freaking kidding me. After all we've done, all the pay cuts, everything else, we come in a camp with line questions, and now you're trading Mankins?" I think that was the piece that put it over the edge. I think Brady lost his mind when that happened.
And we look at that situation now and we say, you know what, if they had Mankins, they'd be better, but it wouldn't fix the problem because it wouldn't, because they would still be bad. They struggled with him last year. They'd be struggling again this year. It wouldn't fix the issue, but they would be better than what they've been. But Brady's close to that situation. You know, that's his guy. So when it happens and he's a part of it, it's not unreasonable to think that that's stuck with him. And so in his mind, that move led to what that line is now. You know what I'm saying? Because he's there every day. He played with that guy for a long time. In his mind, he can't get over it. He can't get past it. He can't come to the rational, opinion that, you know what, we'd be better off with Logan, but this wouldn't fix the problems. In his mind, Logan's gone and now we suck.
I think it's a fair place to start. They lost Brady with the Mankins move, and it's permeated. I don't know how it's gotten to the defense. That's a leap to say that, but if the team just doesn't look or feel right. It's just there's something wrong there. They usually play harder and smarter and tougher and all those things. Usually when they lose it's because they're undermanned. Right?
Mike, you know who they looked like last night?
Who do they look like?
The Jets.
No, I don't know if it's that bad, but there's something wrong. There's something not right, and maybe it did start with Logan Mankins, and maybe it started even before this, Mazz. Maybe it started with Wes Welker and Tom, and maybe it started with Tom restructuring his contract and taking that pay cut, and then them building the team the way they've built it since, which is not really going all in at all, and maybe that has just permeated. And I feel like the coaching has lost its way. I mean, I'm not someone who generally comes out and picks on the offensive coordinator or Josh McDaniels. But what the hell were they doing last night?
Good question.
They activated 5 running backs. They had all 5 running backs in uniform. Brandon Bolden, the kid from Wisconsin, James White, never mentioned Ridley Vereen, and Devlin, the fullback. So they come out with 5 running backs in uniform. They dressed all 3 tight ends. Okay? Right? Ho-Ho Manawanui, Rob Gronkowski. So they had 8 running backs / tight ends, which would tell you, obviously, going to go heavy, going to run the ball, that's what we're going to do. Crowd noise. There's a big pass rush on the other side, so how we're going to counter that is by going heavy and big and running the ball. Makes perfect sense. They spend the entire first half in shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
They spend the entire first half throwing the ball. And then the second half, they're behind and they have to throw it, so that doesn't even count. But the game plan was to throw the ball. The first 3 plays were passes.
Pass.
And I think, was Brady in shotgun all 3?
Yes, he was.
He was in shotgun, I think, 80% of the time in the first half. He was in shotgun all first half. What are you doing? What is that? Why are you dressing Brandon Bolden if you're spending the whole first half in shotgun? Explain that to me.
The only answer I can come up with for you, and I'm as mystified by it as anyone else, is a shell game. You make them think it's run, and then you throw. And I'm just telling. I don't know if I believe that. I'm just telling you I have no other conclusion to come to.
So there's something wrong there. There's something wrong with the team right now. And hell, I mean, Aaron Dobson, what's going on there? Again, if you're going to be so heavy pass to run, which I'm okay with, why not have the guy that you drafted in the second round last year because you didn't want to draft in the first round, and he does have a ceiling that's higher than anyone else on your team. And where's Kemba Tompkins? I mean, again, he's limited, and I'm not talking like this guy is Randy Moss or anything, but Tom Brady does like Kemba Tompkins. And if you're going to, there's the attention they're getting out of their players, there's something wrong. I've not felt this way about this team. This team has not looked like this since 2009, which was the one year I think you can say the wheels sort of came off and Bill lost the room, and it's the 1 year. I mean, the worst year they've had statistically was 2002 when they were 9-7, but I don't compare the two. 2002, come back to earth kind of year from the miracle thing the year before. They hadn't yet brought in Rodney Harrison or any of those guys, and it just 2002 was something unto itself. To me, 2009 still stands as the 1 year that Bill lost the team and it came off the rails, and they still went to the playoffs because they're in the AFC East. This is the only time I feel like it feels like that.
This is very reminiscent of that. It is. Totally. And look,
where something is not right.
Yeah,
here.
and when you say they, you're talking about Belichick, really. Belichick and his staff. That's what and the Crafts, throw them in there too.
And the locker room and the team leadership, and there's just something wrong. 2009 was the year that Vince was all pissed off because he didn't get a contract. 2009 was the year Mankins was all pissed off because of his contract. They still had Randy Moss in there poisoning things, and Adalius Thomas was a pill, and it just all sort of fell apart there that year. This team on the field feels like that team.
Look, Mike, I did not expect it to be this bad. Okay, I certainly did not expect it to be this bad in week 4 or at any point. But I think that what's at the middle of it all involves Brady in some way. I do. I think whether it comes down to the departure of Mankins, the arrival of Garoppolo, the contract on the horizon, I think Brady is in the middle of all of it. And Brady, and I'm not saying he's wrong, by the way, Brady has lost trust or faith in his bosses. That's what I think it is at its core. Brady has lost faith in them. They have lost Brady. And if that doesn't change, they will get slaughtered more frequently like they did last night. I'm not saying it'll happen every week because you know what? I don't think this year is over. But if they don't get the quarterback back, they're screwed.
And the commentary surrounding the team is like I've almost never heard before. When you have guys like Steve Young and Trent Dilfer who talked to Brady, who obviously spoke to Brady, in production meetings, outside the production meeting, it's obvious, and we'll play you all the sound, it's obvious Brady spoke to these guys. Not for the record, but he spoke to them. And when you hear those guys go after the Crafts and the ownership and the way they spend money, it's something you never hear outside of a show like this. But it's something you never hear it on a game broadcast from a broadcast partner. It may be the last time because there's calls going back and forth, I guarantee you. I would be surprised if Dilfer is able to say it again. But when you hear that...
Won't he get a 3-week suspension for this?
He'll get a suspension, but it'll be the Bill Polian thing where, 20 minutes later, it's a different tune. But when you hear that, Maz, you were right. There's something wrong. There's something going on between the quarterback, the team. There's something going on. You never hear that. A broadcast partner on a game broadcast on national TV going after the Crafts over the way they spend money? What? So... that's where we are with this team. Not good. Your thoughts on the AT&T fan line next.
Felger and Mazz. 98.5 The Sports Hub and the Clay Family Dealerships are giving you the chance at 1 of 5 to drive. You can win your choice of 1 of 5 brand new vehicles. Keep listening today for the cue to call. Just for qualifying, you'll win a $100 Halfway Cafe gift card. You can also qualify and see the vehicles by going to CBSBostonSports.com. 1 of 5 to drive. From the 5 Clay Family Dealerships, visit them at ClayCars.com. From the station that drives you all football season. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sleepy's one-day sale is tomorrow. Preview the sale today and save big on name brand mattresses. So forget the amateurs. Trust the professionals. Sleepy's, the only mattress professionals.
This is Rich with your Rushing Towards a Cure campaign update. Yesterday, New England rushed for 75 yards. That's another $750 donated by Takeda Pharmaceuticals to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Takeda aspires to cure cancer, and you can too by visiting TakedaPIC.com.
CBS Tonight, a new NCIS mystery goes straight to the top.
Boss, it's the president.
Then on the new hit drama NCIS New Orleans, Michael Weatherly from NCIS lets the good times roll.
Watch and learn.
A new NCIS New Orleans, CBS Tonight.
Welcome to Papa Gino's, Mr. Brewski. What can I get for you?
Big decision for Teddy Brewski. What do you think, Jim?
Well, Brewski's never been known to play it safe. I bet he's going for 2 here.
I'll take 2 large sausage pizzas.
And you also get a free small cheese pizza with that.
And the deal is good! Yes!
Who are those guys?
They like to follow me around sometimes.
They know you're retired, right?
I don't think so.
Right now at Papagenos, buy 2 large pizzas and get a small cheese pizza free. Order for delivery now at papagenos.com. Yes. Limited time offer, not valid with other deals.
You're ready to expand and grow your business. So you've been searching for a banking partner and keeping an eagle eye on commercial real estate loan rates. Then lean in a little because Eagle Bank has a good one. A fixed rate commercial real estate loan with 10-year amortization at 3.75%. Fixed rate, 10-year amortization, 3.75%. You can tweak the term with 12-year amortization at 4% fixed or a 4.25% fixed rate for 15-year amortization. Call Eagle Bank and talk to one of their commercial lenders. Call 800-BANK-EAGLE or see them online at bankeagle.com. Grow your business. Call Eagle Bank and apply for their commercial real estate loan. Fixed rate, 10-year amortization at 3.75%.
Eagle Bank, Eagle Bank.
Interest rate subject to change at any time without notice. Offer may be withdrawn at any time without notice. Subject to credit approval. Underwriting standards apply. Other terms and conditions may apply. Not available for Eagle Bank refinances. Eagle Bank. Member FDIC. Member DIF. Equal housing lender.
Jumbo shrimp. How could it be jumbo if it's shrimp? Yeah, that's a famous oxymoron. How about this one? Pretty ugly. How could it be pretty if it's ugly? Oxymoron. Our competitors have a favorite. It's free with purchase. They have a free window when you purchase 4. How could it be free if you got to make a purchase? That's one of them oxymorons. Free with purchase. Maybe they think you're a regular moron. We don't. We're Right Window. R-I-T-E Right Window. Quality Energy Star windows with a lifetime warranty, and right there on our website, we put the price, the real price, up front. Maybe if we did like those guys and had a free window that you had to pay for, we'd do a little bit better. But we think we'll keep it right here because the phrase truth in advertising shouldn't be an oxymoron. If you want a better window at an honest price,
Call Right Window right now.
call 800-649-3600. A better window installed for the right price. Right Window.
People ask me all the time, Stugatz, how'd you get such an incredible job? And my answer is simple. The Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Over the past few years, the way we follow sports has changed dramatically. Now, we stay connected with our teams everywhere we go, and with these changes come new opportunities in sports media. Connecticut School of Broadcasting, with a campus in Needham, has placed thousands of grads in rewarding careers. Call 1-800-TV-RADIO or visit GoCSB.com.
If you're a real sports fanatic, most of you are, you know there's nothing better than talking about the teams you love and the teams you love to hate. Have you ever thought about turning that passion into a career in sports media?
Whether you want to travel the world doing play-by-play or color commentary, or work at your local sports station on the air or behind the scenes, the exciting world of sports media has something for you. Connecticut School of Broadcasting, with a campus in Needham. Call 1-800-TV-RADIO or visit GoCSB.com. That's 1-800-TV-RADIO or GoCSB.com.
Southwest Airlines knows great service means big smiles, offering nonstop service from Logan to Atlanta. Isn't making friends fun? Book online only at southwest.com.
It's going to be a September to remember at Subway, because the Italian BMT is now a famous $5 footlong, and the sweet onion chicken teriyaki is this month $3 6-inch select. Subway, eat fresh.
Limited time only plus tax price and participation may vary. Prices higher in Alaska, Hawaii. Additional charge for extras.
Introducing yourplanforthefuture.org, a powerful website for high school students planning for college or a career. Learn more at yourplanforthefuture.org.
Radio.com. Listen to the Sports Hub on your smartphone. Download the Radio.com app at the iTunes and Google Play stores. Now, here's the 98.5 Sports Hub headlines.
Rob Gronkowski and the Patriots are now 2-2 after falling to the Chiefs on Monday Night Football.
I would say everything, including myself. Blocking, throwing, catching, whatever it is. We just got to go out there, work together as a unit, and get better and do our jobs.
The Patriots will look to improve in all of those areas before their next game against the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday night in Foxborough. Other NFL news, the Raiders will reportedly name Tony Sparano as the team's interim head coach. Baseball's postseason begins tonight with the first of 2 wildcard games. The Athletics take on the Royals. The Royals in the playoffs for the first time since winning the World Series in 1985. John Lester will start for Oakland tonight against James Shields with first pitch at 8:07. And Olympic swimming great Michael Phelps was arrested on a DUI charge early this morning in Baltimore. He was pulled over after being clocked at 84 miles per hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Fred Toucher's Hair Doctor, Dr. Robert Leonard. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR. I'm Mark Bertrand. On Boston's home for sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. More headlines in 20 minutes.
It's Felger and Mazz on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Follow these guys on Twitter at Felger and Mazz.
I know that we look at their offensive line, but it starts with Tom Brady. Tom Brady, ever since the second half of the Miami game, has completed 57% of his passes. He's 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions with a QB rating of 74.8. Now, at the quarterback position, hey, not all of us have blocking where we can hold the ball for 5 seconds. Tom Brady was benched. For all of you out there in the world, Tom Brady was benched. It happens to each and every quarterback in the league. Now, I know we're still holding on to the 5 Super Bowl appearances, the 3 Super Bowls. Listen, when you get older, just for all of you out there, when you get older, you can't do the things that you did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. He needs help. He needs help on the outside. We can compare it to Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's got young wide receivers. He's got a young, talented tight end. He's got a running game. He's running his offense. But for Tom Brady, who can you say that we need to double team at the wide receiver position? Nobody. Who can you say can create separation in the passing game? Nobody. Not even Gronkowski. So in the sense that I'm talking about, basically it's saying Tom Brady was benched for his ineffective play. Garoppolo got in there and moved the ball downfield and got the ball in the end zone. If this continues on for another 5 or 6 weeks, believe the rumblings will start that this could be Tom Brady's last year in New England.
Donovan McNabb on Fox Sports 1. Your thoughts? You're both smirking.
Well, there's a guy who knows a thing about rumblings about being benched. That would be Donovan McNabb.
He is in a
at least Brady didn't puke through his face mask last night. I took that as a positive from last night's game.
No, I did.
I took that as a huge positive. We're looking for positives and pluses. That was one of them. Brady didn't puke.
Was Brady benched?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely he was benched. No question about it.
Really? You think he was benched?
Well, when I say benched, they pulled him. I mean, they pulled him. What else are you supposed to look at other than ineffective play? Now, I think the reason he was pulled is because Belichick said, I'm not going to get him killed now. No way. Not like, I don't think there's any chance of Garoppolo starting this week, and maybe that's what you're getting at.
Not really. I mean, because I don't think there's any chance of Garoppolo starting this week either, nor should he. It's just the way it's being portrayed. You know, you've seen the ESPN headline, and I think they've actually changed it throughout the course of the day to Brady takes a seat or
phone calls. They're
Brady,
a funny thing.
Brady on bench in second half. I think there was a time where they were saying Brady benched. And I don't know if that's entirely accurate. You know, if he had gotten sat down in the second quarter with the game still in doubt, then he's benched. Last night he got, I don't know,
pulled.
He got pulled. There's a difference, right?
Okay.
But it came after he made a big mistake in the game.
Yeah,
another one. One of many in that game for him last night. So I don't think it's a stretch to say it was a benching. He's not immune to being benched the same way Nate Solder or anybody else is immune to being benched. You suck, you get benched. It's how it works. You know, Chandler Jones, was he hurt? I don't know. He came back into the game, and then I think he got benched. I think there were guys getting benched in that game last night, sending the message that this is just not acceptable. You guys aren't playing up to what you are. And so I think there's a lot of problems, but I think he got benched. It came after a big mistake. Ride the pine, my friend. Sit down.
See, to me, here's the determining factor. When else has it ever happened?
It never happens in a blowout victory. I know that. Almost never. He takes the knee at the end, no matter how much they're winning by.
So I look at that and say that is out of character for how they do things. And whether it is or it isn't a benching or him, because, look, I told you, I think they did it for, we're getting our asses kicked. The last thing I'm going to do now is get Brady killed because our line sucks. Okay? So I think that that's ultimately what it was. But it still looks like I'm blaming the quarterback for the way we played. That's what it looks like. And Belichick knows that. Which is why Brady was pissed, sitting on the bench, sulking like he just got hit by a bus. Because, in effect, that's what it was. He was livid. I got to believe that Brady has been livid for this entire first month.
Do you agree with McNabb that if this continues for the next 4 to 5 weeks, we will be having a is he going to be benched conversation? Do you agree with that?
Yes. Yep, I do.
Do you think we should?
If it keeps this bad?
Well, yes. Okay, I mean... Not every game's going to be 41 to 14.
Okay, but if he plays like he played last night for 5 or 6 more weeks,
and they lose,
then yes, that's a conversation you have. Because right now, it doesn't matter. You can put Garoppolo in there, you can put Brady in there. It's going to be the same result. The team's going to look the same.
Are you sure?
I think so. I think based on the way Tom Brady has played, and I'm basing a lot of that on the way he played last night, which was really bad. then yeah, you have that conversation. You do. That comes up.
I mean, Mike, this whole thing is happening a hell of a lot faster than anyone anticipated, okay, in terms of where they are right now. But there's a reason why they drafted Garoppolo. There's a reason why those salaries are going down next year. All of this had a confrontation on the horizon anyway. No one expected it to start coming to a head in week 4. But yes, I believe that if things are still bad in week 10, draw the line wherever you want, that they will assess the quarterback position like they do every other one.
Make no mistake, there's a confrontation. Again, listen to Steve Young and Trent Dilfer before the game, before there was even anything to rip. And listen to what these guys had to say. We'll play you all the sound. There's something wrong. There's something inside there that we have not seen, maybe ever. I mean, since Bill got here. And again, we'll get to that later on, but we want you to get your thoughts here. Here's Mike in New Hampshire leading us off on the AT&T fan line. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Wow, what a mess. What a mess. First thing I wanted to make a point about is the defensive front seven. I mean, watching them line up and run the ball right down our throats for 5 yards of whack was crazy. You got to remember, too, Kansas City had their own patchwork offensive line, and they did nothing. And when you're relying on a 31-year-old Vince Wilfork to play 60 snaps a game, you're in trouble.
So, Mike and Tony, you know, the Brady story in the offense is an easy place to start, very talkable topic. But when you really want to boil it down, isn't the defense far more outrageous?
Yes, that was the bigger transgression in that game last night. No two ways about it.
I mean,
because we know the offense is a problem.
On offense, you traded your best offensive lineman. You got a bunch of new pieces up front, or let's say sucky pieces up front. They're not all that new, but a lot of pieces up front that aren't that good. And your quarterback's 37, and you have not done a good job incorporating receivers. Of course you're going to struggle offensively. I can sort of understand why it looks that way. Not that it's excusable, but I understand it. What is the reason on defense?
You got me, and I'll tell you that there was the one series that everyone knows, right, where the game really got away from them last night.
The 3-play
Yes,
job?
second quarter, beginning of the second quarter. It's a 7-0 game. Kansas City had the ball for the entire first quarter. The Patriots weren't able to get their offense on the field, and still it was just 7-zip. The Patriots punted, had him at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 14. 3 plays. 86 yards, a minute 27, touchdown.
And the first one on that drive.
48-yard run.
Was the fake reverse. It's where I think it was Dwayne Bowe faked that sort of jet, end-around sort of play that everyone's running. And instead it was an inside handoff to Davis. And did you see how many Patriots players followed Bowe across the field?
Yes.
I mean, Logan Ryan running with his back to Davis as Davis is bursting through the line and going 48 yards and never turning around until Davis was 20, 30 yards downfield. He wasn't the only one. I think Arrington did it. Revis was following Bowe. There must have been no fewer than 4. Go back and look at this play. 4 Patriots defenders who totally ran to the other side of the field with their back to Davis, the ball carrier, as he ran for 48 yards. And you look at that play, and that's another one of these plays where I look at it and I say, there is something wrong here. There's something wrong. That's, the team's better than that.
I mean, Mike, absolutely brutal for everything that Bill Belichick preaches and professes about playing defense. And we get on him about the lack of aggressiveness and everything else. But the whole thing is predicated on we give up small pieces, not big ones. We make you drive. And then in the red zone, we bottle it up and we'll give you 3 max. That's what the whole thing is built on. 48-yard run, 33-yard pass, 5-yard pass for a touchdown. They didn't stop the run. They didn't stop the pass. They gave up the end zone. All after they had a 2nd and 3, by the way. 2nd and 3. And they couldn't get the first down. And they had to punt and they pinned Kansas City down at the 14. And at that moment, I said, you know what? They got a shot to get back in this game. They get a stop. Defense gets the Kansas City offense off the field. They get a punt. They're in business again. 3 plays. 3. Unbelievable.
Here's Scott in the car. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, guys. Everything you guys talked about already, there's just so many things you could talk about. And I have 2 things. My first one is the defense sucked. And I thought right from the beginning, when they had a chance to get them off 3 and out at the first play, and they allow that 3rd and long first down, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Can't get off the field. But the real thing that I think is going on, just by listening to you guys and what Dilfer was saying and what Young was saying, is that I think Brady's already in his mind thinking about not taking a pay cut next year. And this might be his last year. He might already, like you say, the competition's already started. Maybe he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. Look at and now there's just a lot of stuff going on and it's causing everything to fall apart. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of, we're picking it up here with the trade of Mankins, and that's what caused them to lose Brady. Maybe, again, Mazz mentioned it last segment, maybe this is all sort of a continuation of what started 2 years ago. He takes the pay cut, they don't re-sign Welker. And that just sort of started it. Okay, that's how we're going to play this. I thought I was giving you money back so you could surround me. You're not surrounding me? All right. And what they do give you is Danny Amendola, so they did use the money, but this guy sucks. And by the end of the year, I don't even want to look at this guy. And it just sort of starts there. Now we're to this year. No Logan Mankins, and you still haven't helped me at receiver. It's actually gotten worse. And we trade Mankins, and the offensive line, you're giving me a tuba player. And we don't even have our coach over there to sort of fix everything. He leaves, and you give me a guy who's been fired by Miami and New York in the last 3 years, and last year, by the way, was doing sports radio in South Carolina. So this is the direction it's going. And I think that, again, Dilfer and Young started with the Mankins trade, but it probably started before that.
Yeah, I just think when you add it all up, and I don't know how any other way to put it, but then to say they've lost the quarterback, Mike. They've lost him.
Dilfer said last night the dirty little secret in the league is that there are teams that just don't go for championships. They go for a good record to get into the playoffs, fill the seats, make their money, but don't extend themselves for the championship. And the Patriots are thought to be one of those teams. That's what Trent Dilfer said. It's a bomb. It's a bomb on national TV from a broadcast partner. But it's things a lot of people have been saying for a long time. And the Patriots will admit it in so many words. That's how they build their team. They are more concerned about never having the fall off over a 5-year span than they are doing a lot in any one given year. They will tell you that is their philosophy. So is that philosophy coming home to roost? Because it seems like a pretty thin margin for error there. If you draft a couple of the wrong guys or leave your roster short in a couple of places, well, it's not like you have far to go now to get to mediocre. It's a very fine line you're going there.
Well, let me ask you this question. Why do you think it has worked in the past?
Because Brady's been so exemplary and Bill Belichick's been so outstanding.
And I would put them in that order. Brady first. Brady has been so good and so adept at making chicken salad out of chicken poop, okay, that they've been able to get away with it.
And you had really good draft picks that were working on their second contract with the team.
And they've had.
And I don't know that they have that right now.
Yeah, see, I still think the bigger thing is Brady, and now they've also taken away his protection, which is no small thing in the on the field stuff. But Brady was invested in it. Brady was buying into it. Brady's not buying in anymore, and I don't blame him.
It's bad when Jim Rome is piling on. Give this a listen.
Now, here's the CBS Sports Minute on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
This is Jim Rome with a CBS Sports Minute brought to you by Quicken Loans for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze. Kansas City 41, Brady and Hoodie 14. There's history. Mark it down. September 29th, 2014, the night the Hoodie and Empire hit rock bottom. Big ups to the Chiefs. However, that could have been Kansas State out there, and I'm not sure the Patriots would have fared any better. It is so odd to see Brady and Belichick on the field and watch the Patriots get blown out of the building. You have to retrain your brain after 14 years of watching them roll over on lames. You see Hoodie, you see Tommy, you see a good tight end, you see a pack of scrappy wideouts, and you assume they're going to see the end zone 4 or 5 times. Not anymore. And that was not just one bad night. It's a new era in New England. Get used to it, because when it goes fast, and that punk job will not be their last. I'm Jim Rome.